right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are listening to us tonight. We are live for the February episode of our monthly leadership series. Please, if you are there, you're connected on YouTube. We can see you. Please let us know you are there connected. Let us see your comments on the comments box while we prepare for an amazing webinar tonight. So I'm your host for the monthly webinar leadership series. My name is Go David. Sorry you can't see my face tonight, but I believe you can hear my voice. Seeing our speaker's face is more important today, right? So please let me see your comments. If you are there, you can hear me. Let me see your comments on the chat, on the comment section, that you can hear me. So we are having our February episode of our monthly leadership series. And today we're going to be talking about building for the future. Very powerful topic indeed. Building for the future. Please drop your comments. I'm waiting for them. Let's see those who are live with us already. As you can see, I am set. Our speaker also is already set with us. So it's going to be a powerful session, a very powerful session indeed. So I'm trying to check the chat box, the comments. Okay, I'm going to highlight some of the comments on the screen so we could see. Okay, good luck is saying, good evening. I can hear you, sir. Blessing New Year. Blessing is saying, I can hear you. Amazing, 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 amazing. You guys are all welcome. Please, before we do the introductions and bring up our speaker, I would like you to quickly do an introduction about yourself. Let us meet you in the next few minutes. Let us meet you in the comment section. Tell us about yourself, your name, where you are watching us from. Let us meet you. Please let us meet you. Tell us about your name and where you're watching us from, okay? I can see we have people joining in the live session. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Let us meet you, please. Tell us your name and where you are connected from. Okay, we have Blessing connected from Port Harcourt. Blessing, you're welcome. We have Caleb connected from Port Harcourt. Caleb, you're welcome. We have Sunday Shigozie joining from Port Harcourt. You're welcome. We have Good Luck joining from Rivers State, Port Harcourt. You're welcome. It means we have lots of Rivers persons here. Lots of Rivers State persons here today, here tonight. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Any more persons to give introduction before we quickly go into the main activity for the night? We are getting set for a very powerful session. You can see the title of the session boldly written on the screen. Building for the future. How do you build for your future? How do you make sure that the odds are in your favor? in the coming 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That's what we want to learn tonight. So I believe we have our notepads, our books set because it's going to be a powerful session indeed. Barine Harmony joining from Port Harcourt. You're welcome. All right. So I believe we are set and we can begin. Because of time, we will not wait for everyone to join. So others can join us along the line, right? So I would just start by a brief introduction about who we are for those who are um, maybe new to this channel or new to this event. So this is our monthly leadership series, and it's an event we do have every month, right? It's an event we have every month for leaders to build capacity in different aspects of their lives, right? In business, in career, in leadership, in management, skills in general that would help you become a better leader, that would help you become a better person, that will help you get at the forefront of whatever industry you're at. That's what we're about. That's what this leadership series every month is all about. So this month is a special month, and we are talking about building for the future. What are the right skills you need to, be better positioned for your future, for that future which you seek, right? So that's what we want to look into today, and we have a very special guest in our midst, one of our senior friends here in Lispiration. And I believe we already know about Lispiration and what we do. We're a leadership organization, right? Leadership training and development organization. So this is part of the events we do offer or we do render or hold to help young people build capacity for leadership and for the future, right? So today, I would like to just go through our speaker's profile while we bring him on board to have the session with us. Mr. Iwinosa, F Iwinde-Okpugie. So F stands for favor. So we want to see his profile. I'll quickly read through. Yes. I believe you can see it on the screen, but I'll quickly read through. So we meet who we will be learning from today. He's a very powerful young man doing lots of stuffs, right? Lots of stuffs in different fields as a future expert. Someone that is very good at his skill set, and you will know what he does, right? After this profile, right? So number one is an awarded top analytical skills voice by LinkedIn. He has been awarded by LinkedIn as the top analytical skills voice. Then he has also been awarded as the Young Personality of the Year award by Iconic Brands Awards. That's in 2020. Then he has trained over 1,500 participants, including senior management on, when we say senior management, talking about people in high profile, right? High profile individuals in different sectors. Um, on data analytics, on data literacy, digital literacy, on Microsoft Office tools, and then advanced presentation skills. He has trained over 1,500 participants. Then he has led several teams in building robust analytical and problem-solving solutions across various industries. That's powerful. He has been featured on cable news headline as the third best in data analytics competition, and also organized by World Bank Center of Excellence in Oilfield Chemical Research and the Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer Office. Some groups or organizations he has trained and is a lead trainer for, right? Also, he's the project lead Africa SME Assembly Lagos and then training coordinator, data analytics team lead. All right. Is also the managing consultant at Nyrock Solutions. Sorry, I had a network breach just now. So because of time, I believe you've heard his profile already. This is just a summary, right? A resume of his robust profile. So it's a pleasure to have you on board with us, Mr. Iwinosa. Thank you so much for the privilege of having to speak to our community members today. Please let us celebrate him on the comment as he takes over the mic now. You're welcome, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Mr. Golds. Good evening, Inspiration. Good evening, River State. Good evening, Nigeria. And I'm honored, indeed honored, to be here at this time like this to share from little knowledge I have gathered and to also learn as well. All right. So I trust that is going to be an interesting session, and it's going to be a nice ride as well. All right. So yeah, my profile has been read, and sometimes I keep wondering if I'm really the one that has all of this. Yeah, but it's it's something every one of us can actually achieve as well. All right. So having said all of that, we'll just go on. So I'm just going to skip this. All right. So I love to include this in every of my slide because most times when people attend webinars like this, to just try to come on board because it's a webinar, it's a free webinar, um let me just attend. But I love to include this caveat that says this is a paid class, it is not free. So you are either paying with your time. I'm sure most of us, we had some other things we ought to have been doing, but we are here because we want to learn. You're either paying with your time, you're either paying with your energy, you're either paying with your data, you're either paying with your power supply. Some of us may even be paying with our mind, while some, it will be our money we are paying with. Again, it is not a free class, and you do not want to take it lightly. All right, so that's something you want to keep at the back of your mind. All right, I just love to remind my students or participants of trainings that I handle that do not take my sessions lightly because there are lots of values embedded in those sessions. All right. So yeah, I also love to include a participant's pledge or a student's pledge. I'm sure we know this song, "This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine," right? But in this case now, it's going to be "This Little Knowledge of Mine," which is whatever you're going to get from today's session, right? You are going to let it shine. You're not going to, keep it in a bushel. You're not going to keep it at a side. You're going to let it shine, right? So let it shine, and let it shine. All right. So I'm just going to skip that part because of want of time. All right. So yeah, let's go into um today's topic: building for the future. All right. So what is the future of work? You understand that the future of work basically it has changed or it is constantly changing. We no longer rely on, okay, they say go to school, after 4 years in the university, come out, you see a job, and then you be hired and all. No, things have changed. All right. Today, technology, globalization, innovation, they are now the key driving forces of industries, not just in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but in the world at large. All right. And then somebody said something, which I wrote here, that the skill you learned yesterday is already outdated by tomorrow. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I keep telling my students that because I, for one, I'm a data analytics coach. And whenever I come to class to train my students, I keep telling them that I have to upskill so that I continuously, equip them with the relevant skill for the following day. Because what they have learned yesterday is already outdated by tomorrow. That's the trend. So you as a person, you want to put this at the back of your mind that constant upskilling, lifelong learning is something you really want to, take or put, seriously. All right. So in the course of this webinar, I have three goals basically. Number one, want to identify the key skills you need for future success. Number two, want to understand how continuous learning is critical in staying ahead of the curve. And number three, want to develop a strategic plan for building your own capacity. Those are the three goals that this webinar hopes to achieve by the end of of the session tonight. And so you want to think of this webinar as a launch pad into your journey of personal and professional growth that ensures that you are future ready. This webinar alone is not going to grant you that success, but it's a launch pad. It's a board that you would need to spring on to go to whatever success you have decided for yourself. All right. So moving on. What's the current changing global landscape? There are four things. The first one is technology disruptions. Technology has come to alter a lot of things. Technology has come to alter a lot of things. Um, was it 2 months ago? We where I work, we had to we're trying to fix something around staff signing in and all of that. Nobody comes to the receptionist again to use pen and paper to write, oh, okay, this is the time I came in and all. Right. All you just need is your card or your face. And once the scanner just sees your face, it records the time you came to the office. That is technology. At some intervals, sometimes you may even forget to use your thumbprint on the thumbprint scanner. But once you just pass the scanner that reads your face, once you just pass it, it just recognizes that, oh, okay, this person, is actually registered on the system, and this is the time the person came in to work. Right. That is technology. If it were to be, I was talking with a friend, and he was saying that his colleague came later than he did when he went to work, and for some reason he noticed that the colleague he came around 8:50, and he noticed that the colleague came in maybe about 30 minutes later, but the colleagues for some reason had inserted an earlier time, even time before he even came to work. And I'm like, whoa. But you see, technology has disrupted that flow. You don't need to use pen and paper to do certain things again. Sometimes when you're joining meetings, you already have an AI reader that is joining the call, taking notes for you. You don't need to get someone to, put all of those things down. That is technology disruptions. That is the global landscape that's currently changing. So I wrote here that technology disruptions, automation, AI, and data-driven industries are begin to, shape the mindsets of industries. The digital age is driving the demand for professionals who are tech savvy. Emphasis on tech savvy. All right. The next thing we want to see is the global workforce shift. We're not talking about remote work, digital nomadism, global talent pools. And you see that someone is working in Nigeria, the person goes to work in Nigeria, but the person is currently working for a firm in Germany, right? That's the idea. That's where we are going to now. You don't have to leave. I have a friend who is in Nigeria, but he works for a firm in Germany. Sorry, a firm rather in Germany. And I'm asking him, guy, why don't you want to leave to Nigeria, to Germany to go stay there? He's saying, there's no point because the money he's getting by the time he tries to convert it and go there, it will be peanuts when he's moving when he's there. So why doesn't he just convert the money and keep on living the big boy life here in Nigeria? I mean, no thanks to our currency, the fall of our currency and all of that. But that's what people are doing right now. All right. So remote work and flexible work arrangements have changed the way we collaborate. Even here in Nigeria, we now have hybrid roles. So you go to work on Monday, you don't go on Tuesday, you go on Wednesday, you don't go on Thursday. That's the idea. Nobody comes. I mean, it's just on rare occasions that you now see companies hiring for 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or Monday to Saturday. Right? The whole concept has begun to change. So understanding how to work remotely is even a critical skill on its own, because most times you see, I know, I'm sure most of us, we have seen these bloopers where um people are working from home, and for some reason their children come to disrupt them while in a meeting, or something comes in while they are meeting, or they are doing something and the children come in and disrupt them while they are meeting. All right. So that is a skill you actually want to learn. So the next thing, for want of time, I'm just going to rush this a bit. The role of continuous learning. Skills that are becoming obsolete versus the in-demand skills. So automation and AI are beginning to replace certain roles. Just like the illustration I made, where I said you don't have to write the time you came into the office again. Rather, the hand scanner, the face scanner, all of that is just doing the job for you. All right. So the workforce. The next thing is building capacity to keep up. Individuals must stay flexible. The need to constantly upskill is greater than ever. Continuous learning is no longer optional. It's no longer. It's now. It's by force. It's either you upskill or you are left out. That's the truth. It's either you upskill or you are left out. All right. So the workforce of tomorrow requires individuals who are dynamic, flexible, and innovative. All right. So what are the skills that are required, the core competence skills that are required in today's future, or in the future rather? The first one, I know most times we are trying to look for, is it coding, is it robotics, is it AI? But I love to go this route. The first set of skills you want to have are soft skills. They are soft skills. And I listed some of them here, and I said it includes but not limited to. The first one is communication. Whether you're working in person, remotely, or hybrid, you want to have clear communication. You want to be able to communicate yourself clearly. Now remember, communication is a two-way thing. Communication is different from you. You can be talking, but you're not communicating. So communicating means that whoever you're talking to, right, understands you and is able to give you feedback. Right? So knowing how to convey ideas effectively to diverse teams is essential. You should know how to communicate to top level management. You should also know how to communicate to your colleagues who are your peer, who they are on the same level with you. You should also be able to know how to communicate with the cleaner in the office. That's communication. But you realize that people just go ahead to you know um focus on okay, I want to code, I want to be a data analyst, I want to be this, I want to be that. But they are forgetting that these are the basics. Communication. The next one is adaptability. The workforce of the future will require individuals who can adapt to new environments, tools, and ways of working. You don't want to say, oh, this is the way I was taught, and I must keep using that method, even though a better method has come up that should provide efficient, results. But you want to keep using the old method. I love to use this illustration between efficiency and effectiveness. The two of them, they try to, they almost mean the same thing. But um, you can remember that when we were a bit, I mean, for those of us who are um, the early Gen Zs, right? You notice that when you go to the village, you notice that they used to use what's it called, firewood to cook rice, pot of rice, right? Was it sweet at the end? Yes. In fact, it's even sweeter according to them, right? They said the smoke is also part of the ingredients and all of that. Yeah. But was it effective? Yes, it was effective. However, most times those people who have cooked that food, their eyes are itchy. They're already tired. Most times they even lose appetite to eat the food. But was it effective? Yes. But the advent of rice cooker came on board. You just put your rice, put your salt, put whatever you want to do. That's after you've washed it. And in 10 minutes, rice cooker is done cooking. Now, was it effective? Yes. But was it efficient? Yes, it was more efficient than using firewood to cook. So you want to be able to adapt to, okay, because I want to do this I just have few minutes to do XYZ. I can instead just use the rice cooker rather than going to go fetch firewood, rather than going to cook, a pot of rice using firewood. It doesn't, you need to be able to adapt. The same thing coming to the workplace. You notice when you go to church, before the church was you know, um, just the pastor and the pew. But now you now have online services. You now notice that, oh, okay, people know sometimes, I mean, for some reason, they don't want to come to the physical church. But churches are now beginning to have online services. Churches are now beginning to have, even as low as the house fellowships or their home sales fellowship, they're now beginning to have it online. Why? Because adaptability is part of the future. So you want to be able to adapt. The next thing we want to look at is problem solving. So critical thinking and ability to solve complex problems are also valuable skills in industry. I was looking at I think a job role came I don't know, I think on while I was scrolling through LinkedIn, and I saw a job advertisement. What were they applying? What were they looking for? Problem solving officer. That is the role a company is um hiring for. So you want to include this as part of your what's it called now? Your skills. The next one is emotional intelligence, EQ. Are you able to relate with people? Do you bring emotions into your work? Okay, do you like how do you are you able to control your emotions when you're working with individuals? So developing empathy and leadership will help us thrive in teams. How not to you know uh, um what's it called now, do things based on favoritism. Today in church, someone asked a question, um how do we not when choosing leaders in church, how do we not politicize it? That's where emotional intelligence comes to play. Yes, you want to hear from God, but you also want to be able to control your emotions. Is this person actually right for the job, or because this person is from my place? Okay, that's why I want to set him for. No, so you want to be emotionally intelligent, and that is also a skill that you want to, have at this time and age. All right. So the next thing is technical skills. Yes, we are done with the soft skills. All right. The first technical skills. I'm sorry, but there's a would I call it a caveat or a yeah, I think a caveat would do. So you will notice that going forward, most of the um most of the skills I may be talking about will be around data analytics. And pardon me, but I'm a preacher of data, right? So you want to actually pardon me, right? So the first skill everybody must have is data literacy. Data literacy. Because the truth is, data is the new oil. Data is at the heart of every decision. Gone are the days where people now make decisions because, uh, okay, because I know the person there, or because it's my uncle that does this, But no, people now make decisions because the data is saying that 70% of people who are joining on this call are males. So it means that the male people prefer this webinars like this. You can then make certain decisions. Or okay, you notice that you've tried to hold webinars on weekdays, and then you try to hold webinars on weekends as well. You notice that more people come, attend the webinars during the weekends compared to the weekdays. Common sense is already telling you that based on the data, you won't say, oh no, because weekdays are convenient for me. You continue holding your webinars, on what's it called now? On weekdays. But because the data is saying the data is saying weekdays are preferable. So that's where data literacy comes to play. And it doesn't just have to do with in every aspect of the industry. Data literacy is very key, and you want to learn tools like Excel, as basic as Excel, Power BI, and SQL. All right, the next thing is programming and coding. So basic programming language like Python, R will become more widespread, and learning how to interact with AI would be an added bonus. So I've mentioned two: data literacy, programming and coding. And if you notice, amongst all of the emerging technologies that are coming on board, these three skills that I have mentioned is top among the things you need to learn. The next is cybersecurity and cloud computing. Now that you have built a solution, for people to be able to access it, it has to be put where? Online. And for that thing to be online, one, it has to be stored correctly. It has to be stored and managed effectively. That's where cloud computing comes to play. It also has to be secured online so people don't hack it. That's where cybersecurity comes to play. So you see that everything around, I think it was 3 days ago, I was having a conversation with Mr. Gold, and he was telling me about Bybit. That Bybit just lost I think it's about $1 billion or more, right, from their side. That's cybersecurity. So if you can be able to learn things concerning, cybersecurity, cloud computing, I mean, you'll be long sought for in the industry. All right. So I'm just going to skip. Yeah. So to wrap up that session, to thrive in the future, you need a mix of technical expertise and strong. Look, take the emphasis on strong soft skills. The both of them go hand in hand. You cannot substitute one for the other. No, sir. No, ma. The both of them go what? Hand in hand. And then I have a quote here, and I said, skills may get you the job. Perfect. Skills may get you the job, but it is character, your soft skills, that will keep you on the job. I'll take that again. Skills may get you the job, but character will keep you on the job. All right. So industry insights. I think I have just made mention of some of this in my previous slide. So I'm just going to wrap this. So companies are relying more on data to make decisions, and roles like data analysts, data scientists, and business intelligence professionals are all growing. Certain skills you want to learn here are SQL, Python, R, Power BI, Tableau, Excel. All right. Moving on, for artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI is now the new thing. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. How does artificial intelligence help you do this? How is artificial intelligence coming to take my job? How is it not coming to take my job, and all of that, right? But AI has come to stay. We can do nothing about it. Even the religious organizations are beginning to see reasons why they should go into AI. As little as our Google Calendar, you see, you try to, for example, this meeting, when I got the invitation about it, all I just needed to do was schedule my the call on my Google Calendar, and I scheduled it in such a way that in 1 hour time it should remind me, in 45 minutes time it should remind me, in 30 minutes time it should remind, in 15 minutes, even down to 5 minutes. So I kept getting constant reminder. That is AI for you. That's what AI is doing, right? So you want to actually be able to key into each of these emerging skills. So skills that you want to learn are AI development, machine learning, neural networks, and then Python. Again, cloud computing and cybersecurity. So as business, I mean, I had already made mention of this. So as business moves more online, there's a growing need for professionals who can secure systems and manage cloud infrastructure. So things you want to learn are AWS, Microsoft Azure, cloud architecture, cybersecurity certification. So these are things you want to, actually lay your hands on if this is the route you want to go through. And then digital marketing and SEO. Now that people have begun to build solutions, they want to be able to get these solutions to the right audience. And that's where digital marketing and SEO comes to play. Right. So SEO stands for search engine optimizations. Right. So I'm just going to do a little brief on that. So search engine optimization means that when I go on Google to search for maybe top five um, what's it called? Companies in Port Harcourt, because I want my name to, show up, right? There are certain search engine optimizations. There are certain things I need to put at the back end of probably my website or my portfolio or my, whatever thing I'm trying to build, so that when people go online to search for top five, businesses that do this, my own business should come in. So that's where SEO actually comes. So these are skills you can actually go and learn about, right? And so skills like Google Ads, SEO, content creation, social media strategy, industries are increasingly looking for people who are technically skilled and able to work cross functionally. All right. So the next one, the next topic we're going to be looking at is going to be emerging technologies and their impact. Emerging technologies and their impact. All right. So the next thing, the first one or the first on the list here is AI and automation. I know I've been talking about AI, automation, because we cannot rule it out. We cannot rule it out. These technologies are changing the workforce by automating repetitive tasks and enhancing human capabilities. It's critical to understand how these technologies work will impact your job and industry. And your familiarity with machine learning and automation tools will be valuable. These days, I'm sure most times when you try to register for a course online, in 1 2 seconds, you're already getting a mail telling you, okay, you have been granted access. Before it was not like that. Once you apply for something, maybe in 3 4 days before you will not get a mail to that effect. No, but now automation has now changed the game. Automation has now begun to sorry Automation has now begun to change the way things now work. Once you apply, the next thing, in split seconds you're already getting a mail. That is automation. So these are certain things you can put, take cognizance of, and go ahead to learn. The next thing is blockchain. I know when we hear about blockchain, most times we're just talking of cryptocurrencies, and no, blockchain now, just like the name, blockchain. So it's now beginning to make waves in supply chain management, data security, financial transactions. So a situation whereby a certain transaction has been made, because we do not want, certain persons can be, as just take for example like my name, my brand name is Nosa Favor. there there may be 5 persons who bear Nosa Favor. However, something could be a what was the word now? The differentiating factor between all of them. And that's where blockchain comes to play. Because there's a particular key. In data analytics, we'll call it a primary key. So every individual has a primary key. So blockchain would also use that because we know that no two individual can have the same key. That's where blockchain now comes into play. Because we do not want cases where uh, um, money is being sent wrongly. When you do the right things, right, using blockchain, there's going to be a seamless flow of financial transactions, data security, and what have you. All right. So that's where blockchain, comes to play. So if it's something you think you can do, please go for it. It's an emerging technology. It's still a technology that it's still, I'll call it, it's still in it's in baby stages. All right. So you want to actually go for blockchain if that's something you want to do. The next thing is 5G and IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. I'm sure you've heard that 5G networks are now, in vogue, and definitely more devices are going to be connected. Now, what IoT does, or what Internet of Things does, Internet of Things actually is the way devices connect between each other, the way things connect to each other on the internet. That's the summary of what Internet of Things actually, means. All right. So if you have a skill on Internet of Things, I mean, you are a big boy in technology, or you're a big lady in technology, because there are more devices coming in every day, every day. So if you have a good knowledge, all right, on how to manage IoT systems and understanding how 5G impacts industries, you will be highly sought after. No jokes at all. So these technologies are transformational and their impact is being felt across industries. And it is important to stay informed about them and learn how they can enhance your role. All right. Now, how do we identify our own skill gaps? How do you identify your own skill gaps? Number one, self assessment. Self assessment. You want to be true to yourself to say, guy, I don't say I know rich at all. You need to tell yourself that truth. Because until it gets done on you that you are nowhere, you won't be able to go further. Right? So you want to be able to know what your current skills are and how do they align to with future needs. You want to start taking a stock of all the things you can do. Put it side by side what is currently in vogue. And then look at the two of them, weigh them. Which one do I need to drop? What do I need to learn? All right. So that is where self assessment comes in. The next thing you want to look at is tools for skills assessment. I'm sure whenever we hear SWOT, we're always thinking about business. All right. We want to evaluate the strengths of a business, the weakness of a business, the opportunities and threats of a business. No, you can also organize a skill assessment, a SWOT analysis of your own life. What are my strengths? Where are my weaknesses? What opportunities do I have based on my strengths? What are the threats? Who are my competitors? Right. So these are ways you can actually use to identify areas of improvement on your own self as an individual. Because at the end of the day, it is you people will be seeing out there. All right. So the next thing we want to look at is feedback. After you have done all the things, you have added the 1+1, you have done everything. You want to be able to get constructive feedbacks. Do not be ashamed to take constructive criticisms. If people do not criticize you, it means you are not making progress. So you want to be able to ask your colleagues, your mentors, your supervisors for feedbacks. Ah, sir, I just did this. Please, can you go through it? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you feel about this. Where do I need to improve on? That's the only way you can grow. And when they now eventually bring those feedback to you, you have no right to feel down or feel bad, because it is when you are being criticized that you'll be able to grow.
All right. So this exercise helps you understand where you need to upskill and where your strengths lie. It's also being proactive in trying to close the gap. Right. So you also want to learn from industry reports. Go to Google, search for reports concerning, let's say, take for example, you want to what's it called? You want to verge into maybe cybersecurity. Go to Google, try to get trends, reports on cybersecurity so that you are abreast, you know what is going on in the cybersecurity space. Right? So you want to learn from industry report, learn from your peers, learn from mentors. You can also go to there's something I love to do on LinkedIn. I'll just go search for data analytics communities because I want to know what people are constantly talking in my field. All right. So that's what you want to be able to learn from. The next is taking online assessments and certifications to gauge your expertise. All right. Moving on, building technical skills for the future. Sorry. You want to start with the basics. Do not try to learn everything at once. You will crash. I'm not a prophet, but I can tell you this for free. You will crash. Start from you cannot decide, you cannot go and start from level 10 when you have not even started level 1. I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and the client said he wants to learn machine learning. And I asked a question: do you have knowledge of Microsoft Excel? He said no. I said, as basic as Microsoft Excel, you do not have knowledge. And then you want to go and learn machine learning where you be writing codes in Python. I had to now have to draw a plan. Start from Excel. When you're done with Excel, you can now move into SQL. You can now move into Power BI. Then, when you are settled with these basics, you can now go into Python or other programming languages in data analytics or in machine learning. That's the path. So you should have a pathway. Please and please always start with the basics. Then you want to take online courses, platforms like Coursera. I am not advertising any of these brands, but I'm just giving you examples. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, they offer courses in everything from AI to cloud computing. All right. So you can take advantage of these affordable learning resources. And then certifications, you can go ahead to get certifications from Google, AWS, or Microsoft. All of these can demonstrate to employers that yes, you have the skills needed to thrive in a digital first world. And as we have discussed, learning these technical tools such as Excel, SQL, Power BI, it is not just for data analysts alone. It's not. It's beneficial for anyone who is working in today's data driven environment. Remember, data is the new oil. All right. So I think I'm just going to I think I had mentioned this when I was talking about the soft skills. So I'm not just going to dwell on everything here, but there's one thing I'm picking out here: leadership skills. Trust me, it's a must have if you must thrive. Leadership skills. So when you have a team, and there's this one person that once the person just enters that space, the person just comes with this aura, the person just comes with this vibe of, you just know that somebody has entered this place. That thing is not pride though, it's a must have skill. I can tell you this for free, because at the end of the day, when they are looking for example, a managerial role, the first person that comes to their mind, I'm speaking because I'm opportune to work in um I've been opportune to work in top level, management. And the first thing they actually look at is, who can we give this task to, and he will be able to carry everybody along. That aura, that courage, that personality to lead people and carry people along, it is a must-have skill. It, I beg you, if you need to go learn leadership, I think, and that I'm very glad that the inspiration, they do a very good job in leadership skills. It is a must-have. All right. So in the future, the ability to balance technical expertise with strong interpersonal skills will help you succeed in any environment. In any environment. All right. So the next thing we want to look at, I'm trying to look at my time as well. The next thing we want to look at is the power of a growth mindset. The power of a growth mindset, because you cannot but overemphasize the power of a growth mindset. Trust me, for you to be able to adapt, for you to be able to have a continuous learning, curve, you must be willing to grow, right? You must be willing towards to grow. So I wrote here that a growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with what? Effort, learning, and perseverance. Yes, it did not work. It does not mean that it cannot work tomorrow. You keep trying again. You keep trying. You keep trying until you just take a look at the guy that produced the light bulb. They said he tried for 900. That guy is the definition of growth mindset. Trust me. Because how do you keep doing things over and over and over again for 999 times? Man, that's a lot. Right? So, and when they asked him, how did you feel when you were doing all of that? Do you know what he said? He said every time he tried, he found out new ways, right? Not to or to do it differently. That was what he said, right? So there's an opposing mindset, which is the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is the kind of mindset that where people believe that their abilities are set and cannot be changed. I'm going to draw some sort of illustration. I don't mean to offend anybody, but if you look at our civil service workers I mean, some persons may be watching from outside the country, but I'm speaking directly to Nigeria. You're going to get something in the government facility, and they're still requesting for things that are not even relevant, or instead of you to tell me, okay, I need to go to the portal to do XYZ or do this, to get the certificate or get something, you're telling me, okay, you need to fill a form, you need to come back in 2 weeks time to come out. That is a fixed mindset, because they believe that. And the truth is, when somebody tries to come and bring up a solution that can solve those problems, you will see forces trying to fight you. Why? Because they know that when those solutions come, it's going to kick them off their job. So people like that are going to have fixed mindset, because they believe that if it is not done like this, it's not done like that. Right? So you want, as someone who is trying to grow, who is trying to build for the future, what kind of mindset do you want to adopt? Is it the growth mindset or the fixed mindset? So when you adopt a growth mindset, you open yourself to continuous learning and development. This attitude encourages risk taking. You will take risks. You would have to do lots of innovations. You would have to be resilient in the face of challenges. All right. So for personal and career growth, it is essential to view failures not as setbacks, but as opportunities for learning. You want to be able to cultivate a growth mindset that will allow you to evolve in your career, adapt to changes, and embrace challenges with a positive outlook. All right. So I'm just going to um run through this. I'm just trying to look my time. Okay, so I'm just going to I think I'm going to share the slides with the organizers of this training, but I'm just going to take the last line here that says, while degrees are still important for some roles, Certifications and practical experience are increasingly valued by employers, especially in tech-driven skills. So while you still go for you're in the university, or you're in maybe polytechnic or something, please try. One way to get practical experience is by volunteering. And the best place to volunteer, I'm sure a good number of us here are Christians. The best place to offer your volunteering skills, or whatever skill you have, is in the church. Trust me, I can tell you this for free. I'm here to, wherever I have gotten to at this point in my career or in my life, is because I started in the church. I remember the first interview I had, and when I got there, I saw people at that time. I think I was just, I think, 2 years out of university. I went there, and I was, they needed someone who would be able to manage their learning management systems, do online classes and all of that. All right. And this is what I think, that was just that was when COVID just, died down a bit. That was around 2020 thereabout. All right. And um this is what we're doing in church. In church, because people couldn't come to church, there were a few of us that, we had the opportunity to serve, to volunteer, and work in the media unit. All right. And so what these guys were requesting for is they needed somebody to, be able to do that same thing. All right. And people I met there who also came for interviews, I know there were two guys who had PhDs in computer science. There were about four persons who had MSc in computer science. And me, this is me, just a graduate from human anatomy. I mean, what concerns human anatomy with, computer science or with learning management systems? But because back in church, I was already doing these things. When they called me for interview, they just asked me, "Can you walk us through the process on how to do it?" I just pictured myself in church, and I pictured myself in that hour in the media room, and I was just telling them, "You do this, you do this. This is what you plug. This is what you plug. This." And at the end of the, I think in was it okay, when I finally got the role, right? The chairman for that interview, for some reason, he came to the facility where I worked at the time, and there was something he said. He said um that he's actually okay, no, on the interview day, he said something. He said, "Hope all the things on my CV are actually things I can do." And then fast forward to when we met again, he now said, to be truth, that if he's being truthful to me, that after I did all of those explanations that day, he almost told me, "Congratulations, you have gotten the job." Why? Because I already had practical experiences. There are lots of things you can do in volunteering. If it's ushering, if it is media, if it is I saw a video the other day. They said, talking about project management. You can learn project management in church, how to organize for programs, all of those things. If you have organized, if you've been in charge of organizing programs before in your church, please put it on your CV. I I was part of the persons who organize if it's a statewide program, or if it's a regional program. I was part of the people who organized this program to success, and we recorded 100% success. Put all of those things in your CV, and trust me, all those practical experience that they are requesting for. By the time you list all of those things on your CV, you'd see that you won't have over 3 years experience. That's what I did. It worked for me. It worked for me, and it's still working for me to today. Right? So these are things you want to, continuously do. So yeah, building resilience. I'm just going to skip all of this, and then, but the last line, remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Again, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. All right? And then you cannot take off networking for future growth. All right. So you want to be able to attend conferences, engage on platforms like LinkedIn. Do not hesitate to reach out to mentors and peers in your field. Mentorship is a great way to learn from someone who has already walked in the path you are on. All right. So I'm just going to skip. So yeah, in summary, build the right skills. Build the right skills. Emphasis on the right skills. Network. Develop resilience and embrace technology. The key takeaway here is that no one is ever truly done growing. No. I think I don't know, there's this statement that says the day you stop growing is the day you die. That's true. You need to, I keep telling my students that before I come to class every day, I have to go and watch a video. I have to learn what I want to come and teach them so that I don't come to class to fumble. And that's what has been helping me over the years. Nobody is ever done growing. You must be able to remain adaptable, continuously seek to improve, and be proactive about shaping your future. So, this is me challenging every one of us on this call. Take what you have discussed today very seriously and take immediate action. Immediate action. Choose a skill to learn. Connect with someone in your network. Explore a technology that could benefit your career. The future is built one step at a time. One step at a time. It is very, very possible. Trust me, it is very, very possible. And ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the end of today's session. So if you have any question, I think Mr. David Gold, you can take off from here. Yeah, so this is me. You can connect with me. That's my email address. You can reach out. Mr. Gold, David, are you here?
Yes, I am.
All
Yes, I
right.
am.
Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for that powerful presentation. I mean, it was lots of value in so little time. I wish we had more time. We would have taken more from you. But please, if you got value like I did, let me see your comments in the comment section. Let me see your comments in the comment section. You got value, you got value, you got value. Let us see your responses. Appreciate our speaker with a word. Um, you got value, please. Let us see those comments. And then, please, we want to see if we can take any question before we wrap up tonight. I can see we have about a good number of us connected live now. Did you get value? Let us see your comment. And then, if you have a question, please, in the next few minutes, we'll take one or two questions from this session. You have a question about skill to learn, about where you can learn a skill, how you can learn a skill. You have a question about how to prepare your CV, how to become more employable in the future of work. Let us see your questions, right? I mean, he said a lot of things going from soft skills you should learn to hard skills and then to um, the other qualifications you need, like volunteering, like networking, and all of that. I mean, whether you're even in business, you would need um, all of these skills to help your business to also thrive. Whether you're looking for a job, the same thing. I was with someone today, a senior friend, and he was telling me about how he got his job with a company, one of the big oil companies in Nigeria. It was based on recommendation. Someone was inside and then recommended him and pushed for it, and he got the job. That's the power of networking. If you didn't know that person, obviously they wouldn't push for him to get that job. So we've learned a lot, and there are really practical skills that we just need to implement in our lives, in our careers, in our business. So since there has not been any comments so far, would I take it that we have no question, or should we wait a little bit longer? If you have a question, please do drop it in the comment. I'm seeing comments. Kunatin Day saying lots of value. Thank you, sir. And then we have Barine Harmony saying thank you so much, sir. We have Favor Abada saying thank you so much, sir. Sunday Shigos here. Thank you, sir. What a nice webinar. So do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? I would share the slide on the community group. So for those of us who are in the community group, you will see the slides there. If you are not in the community group, please, I would ask Kunet to help us drop a the comments with the link to the community group, right? Or a way they could reach out to us so they could be part of the group. That's for those who will see this on YouTube and maybe did not attend the live session and are not part of our community. So please, let's drop the link in the comments rather, so they can join us, right? I'm having Sunday saying my question goes forth. Okay, so let's wait for your question. Let's wait for your question, and then we'll address it, and we can call it a night. All right. So okay, so it says, how does one build a zeal or resilience for a skill? How does one build a zeal or resilience for a skill? Mr. Nosa, I don't know, did you get that question?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So sorry, I've tried to. Okay, so it's very simple, right? What's that thing driving you? Are you willing to forfeit it? For me, I keep telling people, I mean, I'm always truthful about this. What took me into data analytics is money. I'm very, very realistic. It is money. And so whenever I feel and I think of going back, in my head, I'm like, that money you say you want get. Now, is it now you want to stop? Is it now you want to? So for me, that's what's building my own resilience. All right. So for you, it could be any other thing. It could be passion. It could be your vision you have. It could be something you have planned in your head. But the ideal thing is you do not want to drop off learning a skill. No, try to see it to the end. Try to ensure that you take it through to the end. Right. So build on it. You can have a community. If you think maybe you are losing focus or something, try to, that's why I mentioned in my in my presentation that go online, search for communities that you know around what you do, what you want to learn, right? And then try to engage with people. You will see people as low as 18 years doing mighty things in that skill. That should already motivate you. All right. To the I heard the best player in chess in China is around 8 years old or 9 years old. I mean, that's already a motivation. If that child can do that thing, me, who am I? Why can't I do this? So all of this should be able to build grounds for you to be able to build zeal and resilience. And one more thing before we forget, we cannot forget the ultimate factor at the end of the day, God, right? God is a factor we cannot pull out of whatever journey we are trying to, to get, right? So you also want to, knowing fully well that we have the backing of God. So you want to, before you have the backing of God, you also want to have a personal relationship with God, right? So you should be able to have a right standing with God, because God alone is also a resilient, is a zeal builder. So I think that's where I would stop for that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that prompt response. I believe your question has been answered, Mr. Sunday. Okay, so we don't have any other question, right? We've been here for over an hour now, and I'm quite certain that we've got massive value. So what will happen is, please, if you have any question that we could not address here, please do feel free to share it with us in the community WhatsApp group, okay? And then for those of us who have not subscribed, do well to subscribe to our channel now. Before you leave, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe. And then I would share the slide. We would share the slide with the community. So those of us who want to learn any of these skills, especially data analytics skills, you can reach out to Mr. Nosa through his contact, which is on the slide. And then, since you are from the community, it will be easier for you to reach out to him. He's giving us that privilege. So reach out to him and then see how you can learn any of these skills that he mentioned that you can actually learn from him, especially data analytics. All right, so thank you so much. I'm looking forward to many of us who would be getting better deals, better jobs, better contracts, better opportunities this year and forward. That's practically why we had this session. So go back, implement what you've learned, and then make sure that you utilize these skill sets to your advantage such that you can actually get um, employed at better roles, bigger future roles that companies are actually in the lookout for. All right. So stay close to us. We have more of such kind of webinars coming up. This is just the second for the year. You could go through our archives on YouTube to see the past webinars we've had, just so you could consume value and get more, you know, more prepared for your leadership and your future leadership journey and your future ahead. All right, someone is asking if there's a recording. Yes, please. Once we are done with the live, this video would be on YouTube, and you can always have access to it. All right, so thank you so much, guys. Till we meet again, remain inspired, and see you at the top. Okay.